the North, winning that last game with that expansion into Colossus. He is
so dear.
His opponent here in the South. Can he turn this series around? He is
so trapped.
Oh, showing some moves off there. Casting a spell.
Yeah, that's it.
That was it.
He's a mage.
Yeah, he casted mute on Deer.
Well, here we go, Tasteless.
Yeah.
Gonna have to chill for a minute, of course. I like all these new little tabs and stats that we have on this overlay. I was watching Code
really
A this morning, and I was like, what are all these? I've never seen these before. And here they are, Tasteless, for us as well. There's so many numbers that every time they pop up, I'm like, what does that say? And I start reading, I'm like, oh, wow, that's a lot of information. I'm not even sure how to take that in right now. I'm trying to talk about this game. I can't even...
the same thing. Well, you know... where StarCraft's getting further and further along with the ability to really engage stats in every facet of the game so much. It's funny because when we started casting StarCraft 1, man, that observer had to find out if there was a fleet beacon on the way. We had to find the armory if that was being made.
Well, you know, it's funny because that's kind of the nice thing about it. There's a couple of things about the way it was done in StarCraft 1. Like, first off, things were a surprise more often because sometimes you wouldn't realize that they were putting down, like, any like super late tech building. You'd like go over and be like, oh my god, he's making a carrier. I didn't even notice it. So there was like some surprises in it, which was kind of neat. But at the same time, when English casting truly started, like you and I already had been playing the game for like 10 years, so we knew what buildings were coming when every time. Anyways,
yeah, like you could just look at the mini map at the bottom and have the time to be able to tell you what you could tell them what build they're doing. Yeah, at that moment, I'm like, oh, he's going to fast expand, and like how many gases did he take? Okay, he's going to do this and this and this now. Whereas StarCraft 2, really when you compare it to StarCraft 1, is I don't want to say it's infancy, but it's adolescence.
Yeah, certainly. It's nowhere near as old. It's nowhere near as developed yet.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look, see if we can start figuring out exactly what builds are going down here. Deer, Chrono boosting that Cybernetics core a little bit. Trap is getting a really quick Sentry as well as a Mothership core, so that tells me a good chance he's going to be expanding here. Three guys in each gas. That's what it kind of looks like. But okay, he's actually going to throw down a Twilight. Now, if you get a Twilight with a quick Sentry, that means that you don't want to get a Robo with it normally because you're getting it to be able to send a hallucination to make sure of what they're doing. Yeah. So that's likely what he's doing. Also, it's safe anyways, but we'll see what he ends up getting with that. Blink is not a bad build for this map. You know, we see a lot of Protosses go Blink all-ins against Terran here.
Especially because, yeah, I mean, if you look at the way the main is shaped, I mean, there's so many places you can hop in and hop back out. And there's not a real easy defense for it. It's the same concept with why we see drops so strong on this map. Is like, for instance, a Terran can drop a Protoss or a Zerg basically anywhere. It's not like Akalon Waste or something like that where you know you got one guy tucked away in a nook in the upper right and the other guy in a nook in the bottom right, upper left and bottom right. Excuse me.
No, well said. So look at this. They're both going for very, very similar strategies here. Traps is just a little bit less all-in-y. Like, for instance, right now, Deer, he's going with the 4 gates and the quick blink and no real scouting. Here's Trap's hallucination we were talking about before, and he's gone for 3-gate blink. Now, the hallucination will show him, hopefully, for his sake, 4-gate blink. And, yeah, looks like he's just going to see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
he just caught the very end of it.
This is really good for him because right now, Trap just has, or rather, Deer has no idea what's going on. Whereas Trap, he can sit back very defensively with this. The problem is he's down a gate, and you know he's going to have to utilize that Sentry and his Nexus to his advantage to try to make sure he lives through this.
All right, the pylon warping in here at the bottom of the ramp. Trap in a defensive position here. The robotics facility just now warping in. Blink moments away from completion. Does he not bring the anything to spot for this? I'm really surprised. I guess he's leaving that back at home.
Actually, I'm not sure. Oh my God, he's going for that pylon right now, Yeah, looks like that'll be taken out. Or he'll be going back to the ramp. Now, we
this is a really good blinking away, by the way.
But the surface area right now is a bit better for Trap. The thing is, there's more Stalkers for his opponent. Nice force field going down, catching some extras, but he's down 3 Stalkers.
Now, he might warp in some more Stalkers and just blink on top of this.
That's a possibility, but then you have to really watch out for good blink micro from your opponent. Now, look at this. It's the surface area advantage, but there it is. He has been blunked. Now, there the Nexus Cannon goes down as he needs, but if he can get a big Stalker lead, it's not going to matter.
Okay, you got those last 2 Stalkers right there at the end. Got to regroup, warp in some more Stalkers here, and probably come back up onto the high ground. Mothership Core now being called down here to the south.
9-4 right now, Tasteless in Stalker count. That's a big deal for Deer.
If he comes up here and blinks into the... what is he doing? All right, if he comes up here and blinks into the left, onto the high ground, the left side there, I think he's going to be in good shape.
Well, we have an Immortal making from Trap because Trap cannot keep up with the Stalker count. He'll just lose if he makes nothing but Stalkers. And in fact, this is definitely very Deer favored at the moment.
Except putting the probe here in the front, so good, just to tank any extra damage. Now, he's got another Stalker warping in here. There it is, blinking on top. Now the Immortal's going to pop out just then.
Nexus Cannon plus the Immortal all in one.
Oh my God,
really
beautiful though, time warp. And now he can zone away from that army, warp in again, put those Stalkers in the front, and potentially blunk on top of this.
Well, you know what? It's kind of an interesting situation right now. He's trying to push up that ramp again, but Trap still has to be on the defensive because during all that, the Stalker advantage swung by only 1. So Deer has 4 more Stalkers consistently right now, and he killed the Immortal. So
and there's not a second Immortal being made here.
No, this is what do you do right here?
Well, Nexus Cannon wore off too, by the way.
And he doesn't have 100 energy right now. I know that. He'll be getting it relatively soon because he was maxed out energy for a bit. But
there it is.
This could be
Trap
trouble.
in a lot of trouble. By the way, nice split targeting here.
Oh, looks like
this angle is actually bad for the Stalkers here at Trap as well. There's every once in a while there's one that's kind of stuck in the back that can't quite do the damage. Trap though with some pretty good blinking, but not enough. This is where it snowballs. Nice blinking on top there.
Just kind of rough, Tasteless. It looks like that's going to be it for Trap. Deer going to be taking the early lead, 2-0.
2-0 so far. From a very convincing series here by Trap. Deer rather. Can Trap turn this around? Deer looks ready to get out of this phase of the tournament. I think he's ready to go on to the round of 4.
Yeah, he's playing very, very well. It was a good strategy choice. You know, from Trap's side, he scouted what was going on and decided that he wouldn't have enough Stalkers, so he threw down the Robo, which is okay. But if you can't get 2 Immortals out, 1 Immortal doesn't make a big enough difference when your opponent has that many more Stalkers.
You know, you could see back there with Trap the stress, them chewing on the straw like that. You know, when you come into a best of 5 like this, you do plan out for every single map. You have all these different strategies. Deer is just knocking this guy out so fast.
Yeah, really, like, very good choices from him overall. He really knows what's going on. When he realized that he was playing against Blink and he saw the Robo, he's like, well, I'm just going to keep making Stalkers. There's no reason to change anything because as long as he can keep the pressure on, even when there's a Nexus Cannon, you put a little bit more on, kill an extra Stalker or 2, and it just gets better and better for you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to see if Trap can come back or at least begin to come back here or if Deer's going to close us out after this short break. Don't go away.